How big is the airsoft community?
I don't know numbers wise, but at least 100,000 airsofters strong.
But wouldn't you think that some residents might get scared in a situation or something?
Some people will, but it all also depends on the person wielding the airsoft gun, because they're supposed to be responsible.
So you're into strike tactical.
Strike tactical, yes.
Strike tactical.
Mm-hmm.
And did you ever have problems with the police?
No, never.
Did they ever find your gun or search your gun? Do you have special recommendations for playing airsoft?
Well, I try to be a responsible gun owner, even though it's a toy replica. I try to conceal my airsoft toys and replicas in concealed cases and bags so I don't attract any attention. I do not brandish my guns or my replicas anywhere in public because I'm responsible with that, and I don't want to ruin the sport of airsoft for everyone by being shown on the news.
The people have been shot in the U.S. for carrying
brandishing their replicas in public.
Yeah.
I believe that's mostly due to irresponsible gun ownership and gun safety, or lack of gun safety.
I heard also that war veterans dislike the idea of airsoft because it's a kind of a mock and unprofessional gunplay, and also with Muslims to dress up and to chant your
A soldier.
would mock this.
My take on that is there are many veterans in America that also play airsoft too, and they would find that opinion on the contrary. Some airsofters find this as a transition from military experience to civilian life, and it helped them in various ways, from coping to just getting in general back into civilian life. I can understand that some people would find that opinion to be like airsoft is a waste of time, but for others, to each their own. And I would happily discuss the long-term and the short-term effects of why airsoft is actually a good sport for veterans.
And why would it be good for kids?
Kids, they're developing. They see all types of like action movies and fun activities. Airsoft is a good activity for children. First, it teaches them gun safety, teaches them how to be responsible with their guns or their replicas. Second, it's also like a activity that gets them out, physically exercises them, and it's mostly fun. Excursion, like a weekend warrior thing.
And do you shoot steel?
I do not shoot real steel. I do not have any real steel.
Why not?
Just my personal preference.
It's did you ever okay. Would you explain to me some of the weapons?
Sure.
Let's try. So, airsoft was invented in Japan.
The real steel version of guns weren't allowed in Japan after World War II. So, from my understanding, the Japanese invented airsoft as a hobby thing, and the Americans at the US bases in Japan were so intrigued about airsoft Then they brought it to the United States, and then it became a worldwide phenomenon, from my understanding.
Okay, so we've got here plenty of weapons. Some look really unreal and some really real. Why would you use real looking weapons? So there could be a misunderstanding, no?
The misunderstanding part is taken care of as I conceal these weapons through transport and in concealed carry bags and in gun bags in general. Some people like this. This has a battery compartment for my batteries, flip-up sights, flashlight, hand stop, and a tracer unit that illuminates the BBs as they come out.
Who did use this?
There's many people who use guns like replicas like these.
No, but the original.
What was that?
The original. Who would
The original? Many people, based on what type of preference a person wants to have with their purchases of replicas.
But
this doesn't follow any military branch or military aspect of it. It's just civilian personal preference.
so in the US you can buy this
You
weapon.
can buy this like brand new, the way it looks, and you can add things such as flashlights, hand stops, suppressors, mount suppressors, types of sights. You can customize the rifle to your liking.
And the real steel.
Real steel,
Yeah.
in America, the same thing applies, especially in the civilian aspect. People like butt stocks, people like short triggers, people like... In America, gun enthusiasts like to customize their guns.
So this would be an gun you could buy on
It's customized.
in the real market.
After I buy it, I can customize it to my liking. Airsoft depends on the local venues and the local laws and the state laws. Some places don't have airsoft, some places do. Mostly in Los Angeles, that we call that like the capital for airsoft because so many influential airsoft players play there. But then in other certain regions, there's also certain airsoft communities that play by a different style. East versus west, Midwest, Southwest, South, North of the nation. It all differs.
Yeah, how long have you doing your YouTube channel then?
I've had it for a while, but I started posting like 2 years ago, I think.
And does everybody do you ever get hassled for playing?
Do I ever get any gripe or any hate towards me when I play airsoft? No, not really, because I try to present myself in a respectable manner, and with my content, I try not to be controversial.
How do they treat you on YouTube with this?
Huh?
How do they treat you on YouTube?
I'm not that big enough where people look to me as the go-to person for airsoft, but based on my personality and the way I play, I'm kind of famous, I'm kind of influential, but not as much as other airsoft YouTubers.
It's an exhausting sport that makes
It is an exhausting sport physically, but I make sure I have fun when I'm physically exhausting myself playing airsoft.
And is there any danger with airsoft?
There's games taking part today.
And what's the entry age?
The minimum recommendation would be 10 years old.
And the kids with 10 already realize the difference
who know the difference between airsoft and actual reality. It's basically the difference of the projectile. 6mm plastic BBs, like those.
Now I'm just wondering if the kids.
Oh, the kids know what they're doing. In the States, they know exactly what they're doing. For the most part, they know these are 6mm plastic BBs. They know gun safety if they're taught well, and basically they know to play in designated airsoft areas for the most part.
Have you ever seen one of those on the streets, the real deal?
Yes, I have, but they're mostly the real steel carried by the law enforcement. No responsible airsofter would be dumb enough to carry this out in public and flash it out and brandish it and play with it in public. We are very responsible here for the most part.